Well, after working together for more than 5 years, a Border Patrol agent is now fighting a legal battle to get ownership of his retired K-9 partner. The dog ran away from the agent's Kingsville home back on New Year's Eve when all the fireworks went off. After being picked up by animal control, the animal was then turned over to a rescue group, a group that now does not want to give the dog back to his original owner, that Border Patrol agent. Our Michelle Pedraza reports tonight the whole thing has become the basis for a lawsuit. Michelle.
Well, Joe, even though Buchanan has proven through records that 11-year-old Andy is in fact his dog, the organization claims they will not return him because they believe they have full ownership. After more than a month of failed attempts to get Andy back, the Border Patrol agent filed a lawsuit on Monday against two rescue groups, Kingsville Animal Advocates and the American-Belgian Malinois, as well as the city of Kingsville, to return the dog. Buchanan has known Andy since 2010 when he first trained him and worked with him for almost 6 years before adopting him in 2016 when the K-9 retired. The lawsuit alleges theft, conversion, defamation of the owner, and punitive damages. Buchanan's lawyer explains that animal control broke city ordinance by illegally releasing the dog before a total of 3 business days.
We've gone through the records, gone through the city ordinance on when they can release the dog, and they released him too early. According to their own paperwork on their own intake sheet through animal control, he cannot be released until January 8th. He was released on January 5th.
Buchanan says Andy was rescued by Kingsville Animal Advocates on January 5th and later passed on to the American-Belgian Malinois Rescue. The retired police K-9 Foundation made a petition to gain attention from lawmakers. They have now reached over 132,000 signatures, and they're wanting to reach up to 150,000 in hopes that Andy will be returned to Buchanan. Joe.
Interesting. All right, thanks, Michelle.